Respected Honorable Minister, just now he's leaving after inaugurating. Other leaders of the education here. Just now we were looking at all the stalls coming from different parts of the country, contributing to the field of education. So it's very happy to note here that, wonderful things you are doing to improve the education. Of course, we know why education is important in countries like India. So we are now looking towards, as you know that, India is being a youngest country in the world, youth nation of the world. 65% of the population is below 35 years age. 50% of the population is 25 years age, where education matters. Almost 600 million population is, below 25 years age. That's where education matters a lot. So it is the responsibility of the education leaders here to impart education, keeping in view of the not only the industry needs, but we have to look at the global competition. Today, we all know that, we are transforming. India is, in transition for transformation, where education is going to play a significant role. When I say transition, you all know that India is from a developing country to developed country, from a third world country to third largest economy, from a importer economy to exporter economy. All we are, dreaming, aiming, aspiring for, having a Vikasit Bharat 2047, our Prime Minister says. Even here in Telangana, again, our Chief Minister says Telangana Rising 2047, where these 20 plus years, 22 years exact to say that India, and more particularly education, is going to play important role when we are talking about Vikasit Bharat, are aiming for, $30 trillion by 2047, government of India, or $3 trillion, from Telangana side. So ultimately, it is the education which is going to play important role. That's why I can see all, leaders of education here, and, they are contributing their way. Being just now I said that youngest country in the world, we have a responsibility to help the global society. Today, globe is eyeing on India, viewing on India, looking towards India, because, India has to help the global society, particularly, if not politically, economically, definitely I can say it's a human resource. Being a youngest country, we have to supply human resource to the global society. When I say human resource, all kinds of human resource, whether skilled, unskilled, semi-skilled, super skilled, this kind of skill, talent, all kinds of talent we have to supply to the global society, where education, matters a lot. Here we, in Telangana, of course, lot of transformation is happening in the education system. Last 10 to 12 years, education was neglected, more particularly higher education, whether it's, neglect of infrastructure or, again, faculty recruitment, all. But last 1 year, under the able leadership of our Chief Minister, he himself also heads the Education Minister. We are trying to make reforms. We are trying to make the changes. So if education sector overall is in vicious circle, if we have to cut that vicious circle, we have to make changes in the education system, transform in the education system. Where to do that? Where we have to start thinking about the updating the curriculum. This is where, if we have to start the reforms in the education system, we have to start with the curriculum reforms. We, as a Higher Education Council, we have started a lot of reforms, particularly our vision, mission, aim is that education, higher education at the doorsteps of the needy with affordable cost without compromising quality. Affordability, accessibility, quality, equity, inclusiveness. These are some of the prime objectives which we kept and we are trying towards achieve these things, particularly start with the curriculum revision. We are again, of course, when we say curriculum revision, changes in the education system, reforms in the education system, definitely we have to follow the regulatory bodies, mandates. When I say regulatory bodies, of course, whether it is a UGC, whether it is a AICT, whether it's a Bar Council, whether it's a Pharma Council, all these, regulatory bodies also, regulate the education, but where the universities have cushion, leverage, liberty, then we can make changes. That is what we are trying in Telangana to reform education system, keeping in view of that, just now I said, global needs and industry needs. So this is one important. Definitely, when I say that India is, aiming for Vikasit Bharat, education is going to play important role. All of us have a greater responsibility to see that, education not only cater the needs of the domestic Indian context, but, we have to look at the global. Of course, there are a lot of, transformation is happening in the education system across the globe. India is no exception, whether it is a primary education, secondary, higher education. Transformation is, education system is influenced by the global developments. Today we are living in a globalized world. Today we are living in an interdependent world. How mighty countries, how powerful countries, how big countries, it won't matter. We have to depend on other countries. That's where the education, matters a lot. Lot of global developments which are influencing the education system. If I have to say, globalization, liberalization, private participation in the education system, digitization. Technology is imperative, important for any education system. Of course, today the mandate of the, again AICT and UGC. Of course, today if you look at yesterday, we are making, earlier we used to call Higher Education Council. Today, Vikasit Bharat, Shiksha Abhiyan, bill. Actually, yesterday Union Cabinet is clear, to reform the education system, particularly higher education system. That's where in line with, NEP 2020, developments. So this kind of transformation, changes which are happening at the national level, we in Telangana also trying to, incorporate those changes. I am happy to share with you all that, NEP 2020. In Telangana, Honorable Chief Minister has set up a committee to look into the education policy, not only NEP to 2020, but we want to move a further step that's called NEP 20 plus, or best practices. Along with the NEP 2020, Telangana is moving towards getting the best practices across the globe, and also, NEP. So this kind of initiatives we have been initiated. So I think, all the education leaders here sitting, I think they have a greater role. Today, our main aim is that we have to give good education, I told you. So always we say that our Chief Minister and others also, we don't have anything to distribute in future. Land exhausted, resources exhausted. Only way we can contribute, we can, give back to the society is the education. That's why I think, we have to give education. One, request, my request to all the leaders of education, they are doing in their best. So my appeal, my, request to you all, not only we have to impart education, we have to have some sort of social responsibility, so are giving back to the society. So what, as a scholar, as a researcher, I have done a lot of research on CSR versus ASR. You all know that CSR, corporate social responsibility. What is ASR? ASR is the academic social responsibility, institutional social responsibility. Whether it's schools, colleges or universities, we have to give back to the society. Why? Because institutions have time, talent and, freedom. No other institution, no other department have this much of, freedom. We as educators, we as leaders of educators can, make the changes in society by incorporating, by implementing the best practices. So this is what, I thought I'll make, my comments. So once again, I thank the organizers for inviting me to share some of my thoughts with you all. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.